What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Magisterial Madrid YouTube channel. Today has been a very slow day when it comes to news, besides Neymar, really. So there isn't really much to cover, but there has been some interesting Neymar stories that I do want to cover. So the first bit of news actually came from El Chiringuito TV. Now, of course, before we do actually get into all the news from all these sources, make sure to take everything with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, we never really know what's actually true and what's false. So coming from El Chiringuito TV, the first report that they said was that Real are now in the Neymar race. Seriously, after being silent for so long, there's a sense of fear in Barcelona, and the deal will most likely be decided by the end of August. And besides that, they also said on El Chiringuito TV that one of the reporters said, Neymar to Barca, you can't go to a dealer to buy the best car if you don't have the money, which is of course a metaphor, but I just find that really interesting. So those first two reports, I think that are pretty damning against Barcelona, and I think that definitely helps us and benefits us overall. Another source coming from Le Parisien, they said that Barca again was going after Neymar today, and another source right below it, it's the smaller camp, but he does have some inside sources, he claims. Now, of course, we don't know how true this is, but he has been right in the past, so take it with a grain of salt. Again, he said Real Madrid matched Barcelona's offer. PSG's preference is to sell to Madrid. Neymar to Madrid can be official as early as tomorrow or all the way to Thursday. Well, that's what he said, so I really don't believe that one. At least I don't believe that it can be done within this week. I think that's impossible unless PSG is super eager and we've actually offered something, which again, we don't know if we actually have officially. Then earlier in the day, PSG actually rejected Barcelona's loan offer with an option to buy. PSG want to actually have an obligation, and they also wanted more money. And then there were some small ones that earlier today, Neymar's dad actually followed some Madrid players on Instagram, and I'm not really sure if he followed them prior or he just started following them, but something that is actually for sure and official and something I checked out for myself because I saw it happen live was Vinicius actually did follow Neymar's father on Instagram. That was true, and Neymar's dad actually did follow Ramos, I believe it was. And besides that, he also follows a couple other Madrid players as well as the Madrid's top scout, but I'm not really sure if he's already followed them or not. Just think that's another little interesting report right there. And then apparently some source said that there was a leaked video of Neymar and the return video, which again, I don't believe at all. I've watched it. Doesn't look real to me, but you can sound off in the comments down below and let me know what you guys think. Me personally, I just think that this is a kind of a poorly edited video. I think it's too unprofessional, and I think that the ending specifically with the Photoshop and the Neymar kid, like I don't know, I just think that it's really poorly done. And I mean, it's not that bad of an edit for somebody who isn't professional, but for a big club like Barcelona, it's clearly not an official video, at least in my opinion. And then another report actually said from ESPN actually confirmed the whole video and Nike getting more jerseys in, which again, I still don't really believe, especially because ESPN is really never reliable. I mean, overall, it's been a very back and forth day. Barcelona getting rejected, Barcelona back in it. Some say Barcelona's out, some say Barcelona was never in, some say we've never been in, some say we are in. So it's very conflicting, and right now it's still very confusing, but I do think that we're starting to gain a little more traction, and I do like the approach that Flo has gone about this, where he's not throwing all of his cards out there right away. That's something that Barcelona did, and I do think that's kind of a mistake, because Barcelona have pretty much shown all their cards already. They've shown the loan offer, they've shown swap deals, they've shown the Dembele swap deal, which can't happen now because a report also came out today that he doesn't want to leave. His agent said he's staying 100%, and as well as him being injured also hurts the deal as well. And all that's left is really a loan with an obligation or option to buy, but most likely an obligation. And Barca just flat out cannot afford it. I've been saying it for weeks. They can't afford it. It's impossible. So at the end of the day, whatever ends up happening with Neymar, I think that it's really just going to come down to money to PSG. And we can afford Neymar more than Barcelona can. Now, if we are actually in for him, then I think that we will end up getting him. I'm still pretty confident about that. But I think there's also a really high chance he stays at PSG as well. To me, I can't see him going to Barcelona. I really can't. Unless Barca can somehow find the money or take out a loan again, like they did for Griezmann, then right now the deal just seems really unlikely to me. But I do think by the end of August we will know what has happened with Neymar, and hopefully, tomorrow he becomes a Real Madrid player. I know that's not gonna happen, but one can dream. I am really hoping that this all gets resolved fairly soon, because I don't want Zidane to be asked in the press conferences about Neymar, not about the game. That's just annoying, and I'm really just kind of looking forward to this season and continuing all these games and playing our next game, and of course that's going to be at the Bernabeu, which I'm really excited about. Moving on, there's been some other small news. One is talking about Mariano. There's been conflicting reports today. Some say that we got offered 30 and we turned it down. Some say we haven't even been offered up to our evaluation, which is 20 million, and that one comes from AS. So I guess you can choose who to believe. And besides that, basically the only other real news was about Hazard as well as Brahim Diaz. Brahim Diaz has sustained another injury. He came back from training, but he got injured right away, which he's going to be sidelined again, which is just so heartbreaking, because I thought he was set up for a really big season. But as of what we know right now, it doesn't look like it's going to be a long-term injury. It's just going to be a minor setback, which is of course good news overall. And to Hazard, apparently he's going to be fit in probably about 2 weeks or so he may actually even be available for international break. Now, me personally, I hope that he doesn't go to international break. I hope that he takes that off and then makes a return once our season continues. But then again, if he does get his first game or two back from injury, and it is of course in the international play, I think that can help his form and also kind of just help his fitness overall. But it looks like Hazard actually will be back in time for that home game in a couple weeks, which is of course awesome, and I'm really happy about that. And Hazard looks really fit. I mean, he's got a six-pack, and I mean, anybody who was calling him fat definitely isn't calling him fat anymore. But other than that, it's been a fairly slow news day. I think that it's just pretty much been Neymar consumed, and I think this is what we're going to see for a while, at least for the rest of August, in my opinion. Now, let's hope this gets resolved, within the week, and let's hope he comes to Real Madrid. But at the end of the day, we kind of just have to live with whatever the result is, and we just got to keep rolling with the punches. I'm really excited to see how this all transpires, and I'm really excited to see what ends up happening. But for now, we kind of just have to wait patiently and see who ends up becoming right. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys did enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave a like on this video, comment down below on what you think will happen with Neymar, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. This has been Magisterial Madrid, and I will catch you guys next time. Hala Madrid.